Welcome back to the Act 2 podcast, a podcast for the real-life working screenwriter. I'm Tasha Q.
And I am Josh Hallman.
And as a reminder, we are Act 2, a network and support group for the everyday working screenwriter, of which this podcast is just one of the things we do. Thank you for joining us here. We've done 52 of these this year, Josh.
Tasha, I was thinking about this morning. We did a lot. But you know what?
What?
As the year comes to an end, let me just say thank you to all of the people who have listened and who have been around for the ride. We're not going anywhere, but it is a big deal to do the podcast. We get all the messages and emails, and it means a lot, and I'm so happy when people listen to it. So this is our final podcast of the year.
Don't say final podcast. Don't say that.
This is our last podcast until our next one.
Our last podcast till the next one. Till I see you next week.
But yeah, it's crazy. End of the year.
I know. It's crazy. It's every year we get to the end and we're like, oh shit, we did this many episodes.
Yeah, we did it. I was just reflecting. You were in a different state at one point.
It's been a crazy year.
We started this pod. Oh God, I hope this doesn't happen again. In a hotel in Huntington Beach. That's where we were podcasting from earlier this year.
Yeah.
Because of the fires.
You brought your podcasting equipment to London, even though you didn't use it. Just in case we needed to.
I could have. I didn't sleep for 7 straight days, but I could have done it any time.
Yeah. It's an interesting year.
Anyway,
for those of you who are excited by a new year of screenwriting, please feel free to DM us any questions, topic suggestions that you want us to talk about as you rev up for the new year, as you get into your, your planning of how you're going to kill it in 2026. Reach out to us. We'll talk about those things on the podcast.
Yeah.
You can also reach out to us personally. There's ActTwoWriters@gmail.com, all spelled out. Or you can go to our Instagram or our Twitter at ActTwoWriters or our TikTok at ActTwoWriters. Or you can find me at Story Thursday on Instagram or Tasha 3.0 on Twitter.
And I'm Joshua Hallman on Twitter, Josh Hallman on Instagram. I feel like we just did we just do that twice?
I'm not sure
It's the end of the year, man. I was telling you yesterday, I ate chips and salsa for like 2 straight hours. It was at 3:00 in the afternoon. I haven't eaten since yesterday, and
I'm still full from also eating chips last night.
Oh, so good. And I'm mentally really doing my best to just not stress out. And this is it. I say this every year. I'm like, I'm not gonna be stressing about certain things, and I threw in the towel. I still have a lot to do, and I want to get my certain goals organized and all these different things and come into the new year like hot, but also kind of chilling right now.
I love this for you. You look calm and relaxed.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Can I tell you a story?
Oh, God.
It's at 4:00 this morning. Multiple lights in my backyard had gone off, on my Ring camera, but there wasn't a motion detected. And I was actually thinking to myself, I was like, I've seen way too many movies because, first of all, I was like, all right, someone's breaking in. So I'm like getting up. I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do now? Like, how am I going to fight this guy?
Do you have a bat by the side of your bed? Do you have anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a bat.
Okay. It's got nails embedded in it. Electrical wire.
I've got it all. And then I was just walking around my house, just like, where is this person? Is someone there? Is it an animal? Didn't see anything, but then my mind was working. I was like, all right,
sure.
There's an alien.
Yeah.
This is signs.
Yes, clearly an alien. Yeah, same. Also have seen too many movies, but I was home alone this week, and it was late at night, and I was sitting on my couch, and my dog was sleeping at my feet. It was like there was like Christmas music on the TV. It was just very homey and like perfect. And then all of a sudden, behind me, in the room behind me, I have one of those motion sensor trash cans, and I hear it goes up. As
No
if
way.
someone, I swear to fucking God. And this does not happen, by the way. It's not like I have a faulty one. It's not like sometimes it misfires. This never happens. It suddenly motion detected something. And the motion is not on the ground. It's not like a rat ran by it. It's up where you would put your hand
Yeah.
over the trash can. And then Of course, I just sat there and I was like waiting for footsteps or
Uh-huh.
something. Nothing. There's no. But then the I have like a curtain on one of the windows to my left, and it's just kind of like I swear to God, it moved a little bit.
What? Wait, how are you just telling me this now? I feel like this is urgent information. You know I love these stories.
What do I do with this information?
I don't know, but I know when scary shit like that happens, I just sit there and hope that it just goes away so I don't have to deal with it.
That's what I did.
So did you just sit there?
I just said I was reading, so I just like, okay, if more sounds happen, I will address it. But
What did Indy do?
she didn't do anything. I was waiting for her to stare into a dark corner, right? Or just like but she didn't do anything. So that honestly like calmed me a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, well, she's not seeing ghosts.
Yeah. So I once heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I do it. That if you think there's like a ghost or you're being like haunted or something, you can just say to the extent of like, I reject you. I no, like this is not happening.
Not now, ghosts.
Basically, you're like, I'm not inviting you into my life. You just get out. Just get away from me. I've done this before.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worked, but I have heard things and I'm like, I don't have time for this shit. I reject you.
Huh.
Just too tired. Anyway.
What if it was like my grandma visiting and it was like, you don't want to tell grandma to go away?
I mean, does grandma have to scare you like that?
Grandma would probably think it's funny.
Yeah. What is a good way, though, to appear to a living person if you're a ghost? There's just no way around not scaring someone.
There's no way. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
So I have a This Week in Writing.
Let's go.
This Week in Writing.
I got a note back on something, a little treatment that I submitted, which you have read.
It's very cool.
I had met with a producer. Let me rewind. I met with my manager. I said, hey, I have this idea. And then he said, I know just the right producer for you. So then I meet with the producer. I had this long talk with the producer about it. We were on like a same page. And because this is kind of like the world in which he works in, I had this idea based off of some of the things he said. I do this take. And I was like, let me just get you like a few pages. It was supposed to be like a one-page document. It was like 4 pages. And I was like, let me just tell you where my mind is. So I sent it to him. And he took some time. He got back to me. And I was really amped about this. I still am. Like this kind of general concept, maybe not that idea, but within this ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote back and said, ultimately, that he just didn't think the idea was undeniable. And
Right.
he didn't think this was the right one. And I'm only bringing this up because that word, undeniable, it was like a knife to my heart.
It is. I don't like people should stop saying that.
In a way, I wonder if I don't want to say it's a cop-out because I don't think he's necessarily wrong.
Wait, can I just say that it's a cop out because that's not a real note,
Sure.
right? Because it should then be followed up with the character arc isn't that interesting to me. I think you're at the cusp of something interesting, but this is where I think it could use some work because I want to feel this character journey more, and that would make it undeniable. Or maybe that's not his issue. That's not what makes it undeniable for him. What makes it undeniable is the plot of it. The adventure itself feels familiar and not something new and exciting. That's a note.
Yeah.
That's a note that you could execute on, that you could work on, but just being like, get this away, burn it down, find something else, it's undeniable, doesn't make any sense to me because anything can be tweaked. And the undeniableness that you're feeling, there's something underneath that that's making you feel like it's not special. Give me that note.
So that was a much better way to say it than I was going to say. But yeah, I agree with you. And this is not just from this one producer, but we have another friend who just got this note, and it's like that note destroys writers, I think.
Yeah, it destroys their confidence.
It destroys their confidence
And
you're
not
like,
just this project and everything else, because they're like, oh, I can't come up with good ideas.
yeah. And it's like, well, wait a minute. And then, yeah, it's tough when you're working on new things or you're developing something and this happens. And then the worst part about it is I'm a little more guarded from what I'm going to say right now. But like, if this were a few years ago, it would probably spiral me into some like like, okay, well, now I can't work on this. Now I have to find something new. Now this, and you just, as a writer, you go down this path where you just start doubting everything because
Mhm.
I've been there before. So anyway, the undeniable note.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's all good. I'm just depressed about it.
Maybe it was an excuse. I don't
Maybe.
know.
I. What's funny is it probably will make me completely change the like idea that I'm working on,
Mm.
which is fine.
As long as it's for the better. I mean, you gave it to writers group and we gave you thoughts, and I mean, everything can be improved upon. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, I agree. It's just kind of a funky way of giving a note. My manager will often give a note that's in the same like Venn diagram of gut wrenching, but at least has some construction in it. Constructive criticism is what I was going for there.
Yeah.
Where she says it's like half of an idea.
Sure.
Where she says like it's missing that other piece to make it obvious, to make it really sing, to make it undeniable.
Yeah.
Which, okay, like that's acknowledging that there's work to be done, not like this open-handed slap of undeniable. Get out of here.
Right. It's and I get it. Producers and managers, they're coming from that place of how can I sell this? How can
Mhm.
this
Sure.
be made? How can this take the next step? And so I understand from their perspective, but it's always a little tricky because I feel like we see things that are not undeniable but are produced often. And I could give countless examples of things that are like, oh, that's just good character, good execution. Anyway, just kind of
Yeah.
throws you for a loop.
Yep. Which I think tells you what kind of producer he is, which is that the script or the idea might need to be more developed
Yeah.
before you give it to him,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
then his brain can start to click in, right? So in the future, that tells you like where your stuff should be at. It should be at a certain level before you share it with them,
100%.
which is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 2 this week's in writings. One is that we had our first AMA last week on our Patreon chat. So if you sign on to Patreon as a co-EP, you could go into the chat and ask for a whole hour, just have our undivided attention and ask a lot of really great questions. And this one we talked about since The Mighty Nine is out right now. In fact, the finale comes out on or it came out on the 22nd of December. So now you can binge the whole thing if that's what you're waiting for. Tomb Raider is already all out, so you can binge that too. So we were just talking about that, like and they're really good questions too. Like, how did you get the job? But also like, how many writers were in the room? How did you work with those writers? How did you, develop certain ideas? And we just like got into the nuts and bolts of writing. And that's what it's for. That was fun. So if you want to do another one in the coming year, let us know. We can do that. And then my second and last this week in writing is my husband and I saw Eternity in
Yes.
theaters. It's with Scarlet Witch,
Yeah. The third Olsen.
Miles Teller.
Yeah. And
Okay, first of all, we weren't going to see it in theaters because we were like, oh, this feels like a streaming movie. And then I was like, no, we can't do this. Like
Yeah.
we are the problem. We have to go see movies like this in theaters. And I'm happy to say that the theater was not full, but there were plenty of people there. There were people on both of my sides, and it was actually a pretty full theater, which is great to see. I really liked this movie. I really, really liked it. It was one of those where you're just on the adventure and you don't think about anything until the end. And then on the drive home, I was like, I have so many. Like, if I was developing this script, I feel like there were places where I would hone in a little bit more to really like pull out the themes that they were dealing with. But like, those are Tasha in the car thoughts. They're not Tasha in the process of watching this movie thoughts, which says a lot about the movie. It's just really good and heartwarming and sweet and interesting and so well acted and so funny. Highly recommend.
okay. So you enjoyed the experience in the moment.
Yeah, and it was nice to go see a movie like that in theaters on just like an average Tuesday.
Oh man, that sounds very nice.
It's the best. Back in the day, man, this was our life, and I want to make that my life again.
You can.
2026, baby. So this episode is all about our 2025 goals. It is, did we accomplish them? reminder on what they were.
Yeah.
And if we did not accomplish them, what could we do to better accomplish them in 2026? And at the top of 2026, we will talk about our actual goals for the new year. But this is sort of the building block of that episode.
Yeah, this is where we reflect, and I don't want to say hold ourselves accountable, but we just look back and just be as transparent as humanly possible, because we did a full goals episode, and
Yeah.
now tell you where we are and why things worked out, why they didn't work out.
Yup. I don't want to go first.
Okay, I'll start. So just to kind of give a rehash, the way I set my goals are things that I can control and then things that are out of my control.
Mm-hmm.
In the things that I can control, it's kind of how to do what I want to accomplish. For instance, write a script with Tasha. How can we do this? We have a schedule. We have a page count, whatever it may be. How I don't even remember what we did, but that's in our control. Those are things that we can just execute.
Yeah. You came over to my house and we
Yes.
brainstormed for a couple hours.
A couple of the things that are out of my control, which I don't even think I talked about then, which I'm probably not going to talk about now because I didn't accomplish them. And so,
No, these are good though. Listen, my list of goals are all quite unaccomplished. So please make me feel better.
okay, well, I'll have you know that even in my control, I missed a lot of my goals.
Yeah.
I'll start with one that I did hit. So I was very spec heavy going into 2025. If you remember, I was like, I'm just writing specs. Like, this is
Yeah.
it. I'm focusing on specs. And I was writing something with a friend of mine who's also an actor. And one of my goals was to take the script out and finish it. And we did that, Tasha.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
A second one that I did not hit, well, I kind of hit, is there is a script that I wrote that you guys have read, the Treehouse thing.
Yeah.
And it's basically the draft is done. I wanted to finish it and then send it off, but it's just sitting on my computer. It's one of those things. This is really strange. Like, I finished it, the draft. You guys gave me notes, but I haven't sent it back to you. And I was going to pick that back up in the new year and finish it. There was
I count that as a win,
Okay.
right? You count that as a win that you finished that. You didn't finish, but you completed a draft of a spec. Yeah.
Okay. Our Christmas spec,
Yeah.
finished it.
Finished it, sent it out.
And so here are a few other things that I just completely missed. I wanted to write a pilot. Didn't do that.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what about your school pilot was from last year?
Yeah, that was late 2024.
Okay.
And I wanted to get into it for 2025.
Okay, but yeah, we didn't see a draft of that this year.
No, I think that's just dead. And then there were two other things I wanted to write, which I did not do. I wanted to have a daily page count. Didn't do that.
Oh, okay. I don't remember you saying you wanted a daily page count.
Okay, I might be pulling back the curtain a little bit.
I love that. What was the page count?
So this ties into my second thing, because it was
Okay.
a fluctuating page count.
I remember you talking about that if something came up, you would just kind of move those pages to the next day.
Yeah, and so I think we've talked about this. Is like I think it's unrealistic to be like, I'm gonna write 5 pages every day. Mine's a little bit more like, I'm gonna get 3 pages today, 2 pages tomorrow, 5 pages the next day.
Oh, that's what you mean. I like that better than what I said, because I feel like I've done that before. It's like, oh, if I don't complete my 5 pages, it's 15 tomorrow. But 15 is so unrealistic, and that becomes a slog, and then it starts to build, and you're like, well, I'm not doing any pages then, because if I can't do 20 pages today, then I haven't hit my goal. So what's the fucking point? So I'm glad that makes a lot more sense and is way more doable.
I just feel like the high page count is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
If you're writing like a spec, if you're like on a deadline and you're like, I need to get this done, you're writing 30 pages like on a Tuesday. But
Yeah, for sure.
But the way that I wanted to do that was every week, like on a Sunday, I would create a pre-week, like a schedule for the upcoming week, and be like, okay, this is how I'm going to map this out. And I was doing it for months, like probably into like March or April, and then I kind of slowly saw it taper off, and I started to miss doing that, and I just stopped doing it.
Do you know why March or April was the time that it started happening?
I think I was just getting busy with stuff. And then like other things in life were happening, and I was like, oh man, okay, well, I'm not even going to be able to write these next 2 days. And then I'd be like, oh, forget it. And then like you do that habit of just not doing it. I had a couple meetings that I wanted to do. I only did one of like, these were like random people who I was trying to meet with. And then there was a couple that I was going to meet with, but just never happened.
Mhm.
Failed that. And then I had just a bunch of brainstorming that I wanted to do with new ideas, which I kind of did. Just like new spec ideas and
Mhm.
just, yeah, that was it. So overall, medium.
Medium?
I'd say like 65%.
Did you give yourself a number of specs you wanted to finish by the end of 2025?
Yeah, actually, it was 3.
And?
I guess technically, if we're counting our spec, which I'm going
Yeah,
to,
of course you would. Yeah.
I did it.
Yes, you did.
But does it count?
What? Of Joshua. Celebrate the win.
I'm gonna start drinking.
You were so relaxed at the top of this episode.
Well, I'm feeling failure and it's setting in. I don't like it.
No, 3 specs in a year. I mean, remember our last episode where we went through Ken's list of how you should schedule your year, and Ken said 2 to 3, and I was like, 3 is ambitious, Ken. Relax. And then here you are. You've done the ambitious thing.
Listen, man, Ken is nuts. I feel like the only way that I could do 3 is with like you. Like there's no other way in the world. Maybe that's not true, but like to just be like, okay, with just so much shit going on.
Yeah. Like life things, like family stuff, as well as like other work things
Yes.
beyond just writing specs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. External
Yeah.
work things. Like I I started to get involved with like short form content. I was trying to produce something. I was working on something. So like things like that.
You put on a live show? I mean, you produced a whole live show?
I did put a lot. Yeah, that's right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, things like that just took up, like, they take up a lot of your brain.
they do. Okay, I'm gonna start talking. So I wrote my goals in my Heroes Journal, if you recall.
Yeah.
We love Heroes Journal, or I do, because I'm a giant nerd. All right, so my first goal was to progress my career by December 2025. And that is one that's like, what the fuck does that mean, Tasha? Break that down, which again, we'll talk about in our goals episode about how to break these giant ambitious goals down. But it was essentially like say no more often to things that you don't have the bandwidth for or that you don't really love, so that you can spend that time that's very valuable. And as your year already kind of explained, like it's just so difficult to find the time to do the things that you need to do,
Yeah.
that to start to take on things that you don't really love, just it snowballs.
Yeah.
So say no more often. I think I did that.
Yeah.
I feel like everything I've worked on this year has been fun and something I've wanted to do.
I want to just chime in real quick. Yeah, we'll talk a
Yeah.
little bit more about this, but the saying no is a real thing for writers. Like,
Yeah.
because if you become the person who's just saying yes to everything and you're pitching and then you're developing things and you're doing, you have no time for yourself.
No, you don't have any time to, and then you'll find yourself by the end of the year with no specs and none of the other things you committed to that took a full-time job time amount didn't move forward either, and now you have nothing.
Yeah.
Trust me, been there.
Yeah.
Go after studio level jobs was part of this progress my career thing. I pitched on 2 studio jobs that I can remember this year. So I did do that.
Success.
I could do more, but I think I was so busy this year
Yeah.
that I'm sure my agents were like, Tasha doesn't have time for this, so we're not gonna help her out here.
Yeah.
So they got me 1 pitch, and then I got myself the other, essentially. So there's that. Go after show running jobs, more show running jobs. That did not come to fruition this year. I haven't gone after. I mean, there's actually something sitting in my inbox right now that's to show run another animated show potentially. I have to have a take and figure out what it is, but I didn't get anything new or really like try to pitch on anything new that I can recall. Go after more live action jobs. Those 2 pitches that I mentioned were both live action.
Mm-hmm.
Become the go-to rewrite person. Go after more rewrites as a strategy, as a career strategy. One of the pitches, the studio pitches I went on was a rewrite. But I feel like even this is like a too I did two things. That doesn't feel like enough.
I think there's like a big thing here is that you were incredibly busy. Like
Yes.
like out of the state for 4 months busy,
Yeah.
head down working on something else, show running. It's a weird thing because I feel like you've hit your goals, but also I know specifically it probably doesn't feel like that, but this is because you were doing other things that you probably didn't even know were going to happen.
Yeah, this year was bonkers. I guess this should maybe be the first thing I mentioned going into these because I need to have more forgiveness for myself. I'm embarrassed because I love goals. I usually accomplish a lot of them in a given year. But particularly this year, I've come to the end of the year feeling very chaotic. Like, and then re-looking at these goals makes me feel like, oh God, that's not just a feeling. Like it has been a chaotic year. And it's large. I mean, like you said, Josh, it started with the LA fires. I very quickly then went to Hong Kong for a family trip that was stressful because it was a family trip and what it was. And then immediately came back and literally hopped on a plane the next day and went to North Carolina, where I worked there for 3 months. And was just like trying to I would be in a writer's room and then also like show run the Mighty Nine at the same time, which is just a lot of meetings, watching cuts and giving notes and just meetings, meetings, meetings. And then came back and tried to get my life together, which is where some of these things start to actually like, oh yeah, I did pitch on that. Oh yeah, I did do that. I'm While I was there, I read a book that I am now developing a pitch for. I mean, that was what I was there from February to the end of April, and that's when I read the book, and I'm still developing. I still haven't pitched it to the studio. I've only been developing the pitch with the producers. I finally pitched the author. That was the author meeting I had, and we'll pitch that to studios in the new year. So like there's so many things going on, but it doesn't feel like anything is paid off. And I think that's just a reminder too that your goals don't have to necessarily pay off for you to have made success in them. It's
Yeah.
something I have to tell myself. But yeah, and then my dad got sick and like all these things happened this year that made it very difficult and made it feel like now in December I'm very chaotic. But that's that. When we get into 2026, we'll talk about how to learn from the mistakes we made in 2025. How can we better that? Like for you, Josh, I really want to get into when stuff starts to come up, like how do you maintain that page count or
Yeah.
like keep focus and stuff?
And also, like what you're saying is how can you quantify what you just said as goals, I guess, because
Yeah.
these are huge accomplishments.
Yeah.
So they should be celebrated. It's a weird thing because I know there's other things you're looking at. You're like, oh, I didn't get to do this, but it's because this whole other like iceberg was there and you kind of were dealing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of my issue that I'm going to change in 2026 is I wrote them down in this journal and then I put this journal away. I didn't even know where I put it.
Damn.
I had to search for this fucking thing.
You're like indie.
And that's
Find the journal.
indie. And that's my mistake. I bought but never put up specifically for this reason, like a magnetic board that I want to put next to my my computer that I can have my goals sitting there looking at me. And that's just something I didn't have time to put up. Like that's how little time I had this year, right? So yeah, putting them in a journal and putting them away is not an effective strategy,
Yeah.
turns out. Okay, my next goal was to take out a new spec, which is the one that I accomplished. We finished our Christmas mystery movie. We took it to market. My hope was to finish another outline. It was something I was working on with Dave, friend of the podcast. But we didn't end up doing that because Dave got another job. And then, he has a family, and a family plus one job is more than a full-time job. So we weren't able to do that. The third thing was to finish this book adaptation I'm working on and to take that to market. I almost completed that. I've finished I'm on like my fifth draft now, I think, for myself before I give it to the author. So we'll go out with that to market next year. So I almost finished that, but I've definitely finished drafts of it. My fourth one was to pitch an idea that I have to Disney, and I put to schedule time to work on this, and I did. I accomplished that, I guess.
Boom.
I scheduled time to work on it, but I didn't pitch it to Disney because it's not done yet.
Yeah.
Because I was very back burner when Tasha had any time, she would do that. My fifth goal was to get better at writing act twos of movies because that's my weak spot.
I don't think
So
that's your weak spot,
I
but
was,
okay.
it's definitely, so I was supposed to break down my favorite movies. It didn't happen.
Here's the only way this is going to happen because I also want to improve.
Yeah.
We just have to do it on the podcast. We have to schedule
Oh.
an Act 2 breakdown. Wow, which would be hilarious that we just figured out our name is Act 2 and we're breaking down Act 2s.
I would appreciate that, actually, if you'd be willing to have the patience for me to break down an act 2
Yeah.
of a movie. That would help me a lot. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, it's also selfishly for me, but yeah, no big deal. I also
You
need
should
to
have
work
just
on
ended
it.
it. Thank you. Goal buddies at work, but no.
Hey, no problem. I'll do it
No,
for you.
Fine. All right. My sixth one was to do positive affirmations daily. I didn't do them daily.
No.
I did some. I'm learning how to do them. So I have put progress into it. I'm learning. And I say learning to do them because I think I don't understand them yet. I don't understand what I need to tell myself for it to like work.
Yeah.
Well, I'm working on it.
I think I know what to say.
Like your affirmation or what to say to me?
I think I know what you should say to yourself.
What is it?
Okay. If you feel as though you're a little stressed or you're down or whatever it may be, you just take a second and you're like, I'm doing great. I have so much going on in my life right now. I just took care of this. Even if you're like, I just cleaned this, I just walked a dog. I had to take my car in. I had to go fix my backyard. There's a lot going on and I'm managing it expertly. And now I have to go write things, which I'm going to do. I'm doing a lot better than I'm telling myself.
I'm going to cry.
Yeah, that's all.
That sounds nice.
So
Is that what an affirmation
I believe that's what it
can
is.
be?
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
What else? Yeah, I think so, right?
Okay, so I have this app called the Finch app, if anyone out there is a fan of it. And I used it much less this year than I did the previous year. But it is like a task app. And you like check things off and it gamifies doing tasks essentially. And one of them I put on for this year was to start your day with affirmations. And so moderately successful at doing this, but the affirmations were like, here's an example. I'm proud of how far I've come.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I am free to create my own happiness.
You're free to, yeah.
I am at peace with who I am and where I am in life. So those are 3 examples. Those don't do it for me. But what you just said it feels real. It feels practical. I just walked the dog, adjusted this. You're doing great. You're doing great. Now go write and go kill it.
I agree. I think you and I are similar because I love those big picture ones and they're great. They're like, I'm finding peace in all these things as I'm like stressed out of my mind. But
yeah,
I think for me at least, it's more helpful when it's more like, I just worked out with our boy Kevin. I just took care of myself. I just spent the time to do this and I feel great about that. Now I just had to go and do this. And now I'm balancing everything as best I can. I'm juggling everything and we are good.
Yeah.
It's like those little things.
I like that. Because it's more specific and it's acknowledging your successes and encouraging yourself to continue on and you've got it.
Yeah.
I like that. I understand that better than these like big scope things, which I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
I have inner peace. Great.
I
keep telling myself that.
Yeah, this piece is great. You need to watch Pluribus, by the way.
I do.
Yes, and going back to with specs, for instance, right? We did it. And I'm proud we did it. And I'm going to be upset about a lot of other things, but I'm still proud we did it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Little things. We did it.
I would fist bump you right now if we were in the same room.
Yeah.
Okay, my next one is to, I always have this one and never do it. This fucking year I'm doing it, Josh. Pursue an outside interest. I always have one. And every time I get to the December, I'm like, oh, didn't do that one. And this year was drawing. I didn't do a single thing.
Oh shit, that's like the easiest one too. You could just
do that sitting on the couch doing something else.
Yeah, you could just draw.
In bed. I didn't do shit. I didn't do anything to learn how to draw.
This one should be like bird watching, so you could just sit there and look outside.
God. Okay, well, whatever. Didn't do that one. My next one is watch one movie or episode per week.
Ooh,
I think I watched a lot this year. Did I
okay.
do one new thing per week? I did not. But I mean, like you said, our year started the first 5 months of my year was chaos.
Yeah,
So, that was not gonna happen. And 3 of those months were without my husband, so it would be hard to, like, watch things
yeah.
without him because he's my partner in watching things. Okay, so, boo. Last one was to read more books, to do at least 10 minutes a day. And I put down to buy a reading light and put it next to my bed. That is something I can practically do to encourage myself to read. And I've done that, and I still did not read a ton this year. However, and this will be in 2026, one of the things my husband and I have decided to do to help with this goal as well as other goals is to put down our phones at 8 p.m. and stop in. Like, if there are work texts, we absolutely have to do. Okay, fine, sure,
Yeah.
but you're not scrolling on things. You're not really on your phone at all. You're doing nothing. And the like 3 times we did this in December or November was amazing. Josh,
Yeah.
how they say it's important to be bored?
Yeah.
That's how it felt. It was like, whoa. Suddenly you're like, well, what do we do
Yeah.
for the whole half of this night? Oh, let's read. Let's play a game together. Let's whip out a puzzle. Let's be inspired. All the things that we talk about on this podcast is now possible when you put your phone away.
Can you watch TV?
Yes, you can watch a new episode. You can watch a movie together. That's 1,000% possible. So, amazing. I'm excited for that in 2026.
What if you're watching playoff football and you need to text people about what's happening?
Can the text wait for tomorrow? Fine. It's fine.
No,
That's fine.
that's not how playoff football works. It's in the moment.
No, it's not. It's not. You text and then put it down.
What if Brock Purdy throws a walk-off touchdown and you need to celebrate with people? Then you're up all night. Then you're watching highlights, and that I feel like you have a pass there. I don't know why I'm going so far into this, but this is what I would think about.
I know. I'm pausing because I'm like trying to think of because for football I'd be like, I can wait till tomorrow. But like if it's the Dodgers and the Dodgers won the World Series, as they did in 2025, by the way.
Then you're on your phone rewatching and reliving all of the moments of a 13
But that's a
game.
night, right? Like that's an evening. That's not a pattern. That's okay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then tomorrow on a Tuesday, then you put your phone down
Yeah.
and you don't do it anymore.
I set limits on my social media, and it's very helpful.
Do you obey them?
No.
Because you can do an alert and says, okay, you've reached your limit. And then you go, okay, fuck off.
Yeah, 15 more minutes. Yeah.
Keep hitting snooze. So that's it. I think we did okay. We did okay. We didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think I did as bad as I thought I did when I first looked at this group of goals and had
Yeah.
one check mark next to them. The more I went into them, I was like, okay, I definitely did work on those. So much more room for improvement. So I'm honestly excited about 2026. Because I just, again, feel so chaotic. My brain is so all over the place right now. And I really, really want to get it back on track. So I am looking forward to our New Year's episode.
Maybe what might be helpful for both of us and any writer is at the end of the year, you write down the unexpected accomplishments that happened.
I love that.
So you can almost see all of the stuff that you've done as opposed to not focusing on the stuff that you haven't done.
I love that so much. I'll do this right after this podcast.
Yeah, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with yourself.
We're gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
Next year. We're gonna this episode next year is going to be very different. It's going to be much more hopeful and congratulatory.
Hope. This is all about hope.
It's about hope.
Hope.
Good job for killing it this year. Look at all the things you've accomplished.
You accomplished a ton. It's going to be even better next year.
Yeah.
God willing.
God willing.
No fires.
We'll do great. All right. That's the end of our episode. Stay tuned for the New Year episode. Obviously, if you're traveling, check it out when you get back, whatever is most convenient. But we go into not only our goals and how we're going to break them down and actually make them achievable and learn from our mistakes this year, which I'm assuming are similar mistakes across the board for most people. This is why we don't accomplish goals, is because life happens. Well, what do you do when life happens? But we also just talk objectively about goals and how to structure them as a screenwriter. And I love that episode. It sets us off on the right
Yeah.
foot in the new year, and barring absolute chaos in the world, we might actually accomplish them next year.
Yeah.
All right, quote of the day. All you need to do is write truly and not care what the fate of it is. Ernest Hemingway. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Follow us at Act2Writers for more awesome writing stuff. You can follow me, Tasha at Story Thursday on Instagram, or on Twitter at Tasha 3.0.
And I'm Joshua Hallman on Twitter, Josh Hallman on Instagram.
And as always, Act 2 Podcast is a production of Act 2 and Network and support group for the everyday working screenwriter. This episode was edited by Paul Lundquist.